And I am the trustee of the Board of Trustees. Welcome to the treasurer, yeah. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Hudson Valley. Whether you have been with this congregation a decade or more, or this is your first time visiting, we welcome you. Whatever the faith and traditions of your past, we welcome you. Whatever your theological stance, we welcome you. Whoever you are and whomever you love, we welcome you. Whatever your heritage, we welcome you. We respectfully acknowledge the territory on which our church building sits as the ancestral homelands of the Munsee, Lenape, and Mwapager people. I have announcements. First, this Saturday, John Agner's Celebration of Life will be here at 11 a.m. on the 30th. All are invited to attend. Also that day is a community blood drive from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the Croton Municipal Building. They would like you to make appointments, but walk-ins are welcome. Later in October, volunteers are needed to assist the UUCHV Kids Craft Table at Croton's Oktoberfest celebration, Saturday afternoon, October 7th. There will be a sign-up sheet at coffee hour. Please volunteer to help out by tabling for an hour or two to assist the kids with a coloring project. Then enjoy the wonderful event featuring music, food, beer, and an expanded fun zone for kids. Sherry and Eliana are the people to ask if you have questions. Discover the joy of helping out in an emergency by attending a fire warden training hosted by Dave Morkel on Saturday, October 14th. Please RSVP no later than October 7th by emailing Rita at uucroton@gmail.com. If you're interested in learning more about Unitarian Universalism, our congregation, or the path to membership, please join Reverend Daniel for a luncheon after the Sunday service on October 15. See Sherry Brown for details. There are more announcements that are in the e-news. So for the most up-to-date information on these topics and others, please refer to our weekly e-newsletter and check our website frequently. And please join us for conversation after the service. If you're present in the sanctuary, join us for conversation and coffee in Fellowship Hall. If you're watching the live stream, the link for the Zoom coffee hour can be found in the Saturday reminder in your email. If you're just recently joining us and would like to receive our weekly e-news, please email us at uucroton@gmail.com with your name, and we will make sure you're added to our e-news list. Please remember to silence your cell phones at this time, and once again, we welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of the Hudson Valley.
It is my pleasure to welcome back our guest minister, Reverend Lane Cobb. Reverend Lane Cobb is an interfaith minister, women's leadership coach, and anti-racism educator, helping leaders and their organizations create inclusive communities and workspaces that nurture interracial relationships and contribute to a more equitable and just society. Inspired by beloved community, she envisions a world of radical inclusion where everyone is valued and everyone belongs. Her virtual and in-person trainings challenge participants to transcend false narratives that separate us from each other so we can enjoy the bonds of our shared humanity and work together to create a world that works for everyone. For Reverend Cobb, there is no revolution without love. She is presently lead minister at the 4th UU Congregation of Westchester in Mohegan Lake. Reverend Lane Cobb.
Good morning, everybody. So happy to be here with you again. I bring greetings from the 4th UU of Westchester and Mohegan Lake. That is so much fun getting my feet wet with them and being back here at home with you. So I say welcome home to family and friends. As I said, it's an honor. So, and welcome to people who are love streaming. Hi, Mom. I hope you're watching. Here's what I want to say this morning. May love and compassion be our guides. As we gather together to worship and celebrate this beloved community, may our experience this morning be one of fellowship and belonging. And may it nourish our minds and our bodies and our spirits. May all our fears be put aside this morning, even if just for this 1 hour. And may the gratitude that we feel for each other resonate throughout this building and into the community, such that it transforms our world. Welcome, welcome, welcome home. Now will all the children please join Susan, I was like, you're not Jane, in ringing our bell 8 times, once for each of our ethical teachings of the Unitarian Universalist tradition. I always wish I was a kid again. When this happens, I want to go. I know, I always want to go.
No one's stopping me. Our chalice lighting words are adapted from a prayer for the possibility of both and by Reverend Lynn Cox. Source of light, source of love, source of wonder. Help us to live in gratitude for the beauty of this world, the loving people in our lives, and this day of possibility. As we light this chalice, let us light a candle in our hearts to show us the way toward healing and wholeness for all who dwell in this world. Amen. And now please join us in our unison affirmation. The words are in your order of service. Inspired by love, our mission is to seek our true nature, connect deeply and openly, and act for justice.
So would the young folks join me, please, right here? We're going to have a little time for you guys. And I want to talk to you about being a hero. Who's brave? And you don't have to come up if you don't want to. My voice is loud. I got that from my dad. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh, it's so great. Good morning. So who can tell me what it means to be a hero? What's a hero? Yes, sir.
To save other people.
To save other people?
Like, let's say someone is not being included. You could be a hero and stand up for them.
Wonderful answer. Yes, indeed. Somebody else? Different answer? Any other answers about what a hero might be? Yes.
Helps others, like you said.
Yeah, helps others. Absolutely. And this one for you, and for you, and for you. What did you say?
Some do has superpowers.
Some dude who has superpowers. Awesome answer. Awesome. So let's see what Nikki Rogers has to say. All those are really good answers, and they're all really right. A hero like you. I love this book. Is someone a hero because they're strong or smart? Or is it more about what's inside a person's heart? Let's take a look inside this book and see what heroes do. You may find that a hero can be someone just like you. Heroes care for people and make sure they're okay. They help the sick get well again, assisting night and day. So they have this picture of this doctor. This person. Yeah. And this is the guy that he's out to figure out who a hero is. He's got his hero costume on. I think I have one like this in the closet somewhere.
Mouse.
I didn't want to wear it today, though. You did too?
There's a mouse on it.
There's a mouse on it? Oh, he's got a cape on too. I didn't even notice that. Heroes are like firefighters, strong and very brave. They risk their lives if there are any people they can save. Heroes care for nature and every living thing as they work to help the earth. They hear creation sing. Anybody know what kind of bear that is? It's a koala.
Those are bears.
Very cool. They're not bear. Okay, what are they?
They're
They're
marsupials.
marsupials. Man, these kids are smart. What are you feeding these kids? Totally not a bear. Oh, man. Heroes are our loyal friends, honorable and brave. They fight for truth and do what's right, even when they're afraid. Always alert and ready, heroes know just what to do. If someone is in danger, they will race to their rescue. Heroes always do their best to help someone in need. They think of others' feelings and don't act for selfish greed. You guys said that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said that. He's like, yeah. Heroes take a stand against the things they know are wrong. They fight for justice and protect because their hearts are strong. This is so funny. Look, the mouse is trying to eat a cookie and it says don't eat the cookie. So the hero is trying to keep the mouse from eating the cookie.
But that's not really being a hero.
It's not going to be in here. Yeah, keeping a mouse from eating a cookie? Maybe not.
It's like never give a mouse a cookie.
I love that book too. I'll bring that one next time.
Never give a mouse a cookie.
Yes, well, no, oh my goodness. I love that book too.
I started to wonder when I started.
No, that's okay.
If I was gonna turn it into a sword.
Yeah, what happened at the end of that book? I don't know. I don't know either. We're going to find out next time. Yeah, next month. I'll bring that one. Heroes can fix broken things. They like to make things better. They use the talents that they have. They're helpful and they're clever. Heroes work hard at their jobs and always do their best. Not just to meet their own needs, but so others can be blessed. Heroes find solutions to the problems that we face. They even invent ways to make the world a better place. Heroes are those moms and dads who love their families, teaching and empowering them to be all they can be. Yeah, your mom and dad, too. Yeah. Anyone can be a hero, whether woman, child, or man, by helping others doing right and being the best they can. So if you see a problem and there's something you can do, then know that what the world needs is a hero just like you. And they're all they have. The hero costumes on, and you all have your hero costumes on.
Can I say something?
You can.
We have a picture frame at home. Like, real heroes don't wear capes. They teach.
I like it. All right, I like that. Put a hand to that. Very good. Heroes are teachers, and what else?
Scientists.
Yes, and who else?
And firemen.
Yeah.
Policemen. And basically people who create stuff to help the environment, help save the earth, help save us.
Right. And what about just normal people, you know, that just kind of are living their life, they're taking care of business?
They probably teach something, or they dig up fossils like a paleontologist.
Yeah, but you think that we all have something we could learn from each other? Yeah, we all have something we could teach, right? We all learn from each other? We all help each other?
Yep.
Yeah, do the best we can? Yeah, that's heroic. That's heroic. Okay, he's like, okay, if you say so. Thank you so much for helping me read this book. I appreciate it. All right, have a great RE. Enjoy, and let us join together and sing our children out.
Let's try 3 parts today. You pick when you come in. I'll do an entrance little swirl. We'll sing 3 times total through. And let's try that. Once all together.
Let us now bear witness to the joys and sorrows experienced in our community. If you have a brief yet personally significant joy or sorrow that you are willing to share, please come up to the microphone here and speak loudly so that everyone, including the people watching at home, can hear you. If you would prefer only to have a candle lit without speaking, please just stand or raise your hand and I will light a candle for you.
Good morning, I'm April, and I have 3 joys to share this morning. The first one is that our building use liaison, Susie, approved my request to have Cub Scout pack meetings in the fellowship hall once a month, and we had the first meeting on Friday, and it was a great success. They loved our space, and also it's some marketing for UU because there were like tons of kids there. And so it was just really neat, and it was neat for me to have 2 parts of my life kind of come together. And so I just want to thank Susie and the congregation for allowing the community to do that. And also, the Cub Scout in question is selling popcorn, so he may be handing out business cards to you today. So if you feel like you could use some popcorn, you can scan the QR code on his business card. The second joy I have is that I attended the knitting circle yesterday, And I had knitted a long time ago, but not in many, many years, and so I relearned how to do it. But what I loved most was how affirming and loving the group was, and it was just a joy to be here. And then my last joy is that this morning I was feeling a little some agita and resentment. I have to go somewhere this afternoon. I'm like praying, like, oh, release me of this resentment. And it wasn't magic, it didn't just happen. But when we were singing Enter, Rejoice, and Come In, I felt it lift. And I was like, oh, I like this song. And then, so I just really appreciate our community and how it lifts our spirits.
So my name is Matt Clayton, and I've got a joy. My brother and his wife just had a baby on Friday, and so we're very excited about that. We don't have a name yet.
Having yesterday achieved the ripe age of 91, I think I can claim to be the oldest member of this congregation without fear of contradiction, as Hitler would have said. But anyway, I would like to make a suggestion. It's hard from the road as you enter this driveway to see what spaces are available next to the building. I had to park down below, but as I came up the drive, as I walked up the drive, I could see there were 2 spaces in the blacktop area. I think it would be nice if somebody would be designated to point out, for the benefit of those like me who can't see what's available, to point out the spaces that are available next to the building.
Sounds like a buildings and grounds project, so
Yeah,
we'll go from there.
and so that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Hal. Happy birthday to you.
I'm utterly whelmed.
I had the joy, one of my last work events at Riverkeeper on Thursday was our first ever whale watch out of New York Harbor. And it was a very long day because I'm on the development team, so we do all the work for everything. But it was amazing. We saw 3 humpback whales, 5 minke whales, a pod of dolphins. I saw a baby dolphin like this big. It was amazing, and that was just such a joy. So yeah, it's there's life in New York Harbor, and it's really cool.
We also light a candle for the joys and sorrows held in the sanctuary of our hearts. And we also light a candle for those people who are still looking for a place to share their joys and sorrows.
So as you may know, the autumnal equinox occurred yesterday at 2:50 a.m., marking the first day of fall. And as autumn is traditionally a time of feasting and reflection and gathering in numerous cultures and spiritual traditions, I invite us to reflect together this morning on these words written by Reverend Diane Burke, who is the founder of One Spirit Interfaith Seminary in New York City, where I was ordained. Out of the fullness of summer comes the gathering and harvest of autumn. There is a completion of outer growth, a harvesting of the fruits of our efforts, a time to share our abundance and our gathering. Reflect for a moment now on what has come to fullness of growth in your life. What outer forms or gifts of the Spirit have you cultivated and nurtured through the seasons of growth that have now come to full ripeness? Feel in your own life what is ready to be harvested and gathered, celebrated and shared. Those parts of your deeper self that are maturing and becoming more whole. Give thanks for the lessons of completion and harvest. Let us now have a moment of silent meditation followed by a musical meditation.
Our reading today is The Guest House by 13th century Sufi mystic Rumi. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes as an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows who violently sweep your house empty of its furniture, still treat each guest honorably. He may be cleaning you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. Now please rise in body or spirit and join me in singing hymn number 128 in your clay hymnal, For All That Is Our Lives.
Wish we are all to you.
Thank you, Tina. Thank you, Blake. Thank you. Ooh, sorry. So good morning again. So I invite us to continue our journey together this morning with a little story. A protagonist is suddenly whisked away from their ordinary life and embarks on a grand adventure. And along the way, they make new friends, confront perils, and face tests of character. And in the end, evil is defeated, and our hero returns home a changed person. So that story should sound familiar, but not because we've seen it over and over again, but because it is the story of our lives. Perhaps not as dramatically told, but for sure, the pattern repeats throughout our lifespan over and over again. Each of us along the way moves from year to year, relationship to relationship, job to job, home to home, experience to experience, and adventure to adventure in much the same way. The details may be different, but the heart of the story remains the same throughout the annals of human existence. We strike out on our journeys of self-discovery, we learn from the challenges that confront us, and we return changed and even redeemed. The template of the hero's journey is one that is used by writers everywhere to fashion their plots and develop their characters that resonate with the human need for adventure and meaning and conquest. This model of storytelling was popularized by American writer, college professor, and New York native son Joseph Campbell in his influential work, The Hero with 1,000 Faces, originally published in 1949. In this work of comparative mythology, Campbell discusses the theory of the mythological structure of the journey of the archetypal hero. He describes a character arc with 17 total stages overlaid on a traditional 3-act or 3-stage structure. He articulates the 3 stages as departure, initiation, and return. Since that publication, Campbell's structure has been played out over and over on stage and screen, in books and television and digital media, as we know. This morning, I invite you all to recall your own hero and shero's journeys. Good people of UUCHV. When have you triumphed over evil? How was that experience meaningful for you? And how were you changed by that journey? The hero's journey begins with a call to adventure. Something disrupts our ordinary life. We are confronted with a problem or a challenge that we just cannot ignore. Anxiety and self-doubt make their way onto the stage. What if we aren't up to the task? In most stories, our hero procrastinates and pretends that he or she doesn't see the issue or looks for a way out. I don't wanna. Seldom does the hero dive straight in, unless they are forced. And sometimes that is part of the journey. Sometimes procrastination is not an option. The choice is the choice. Ready or not, whether we're facing it head on or we're kicking and screaming, we do face the challenge and step into the unknown. Either way, once we cross the threshold, we have embarked on a significant leg of our hero's journey. We're in unfamiliar territory, replete with its own rules and rituals. We discover ourselves newly and struggle to define the boundaries of new relationships with folks who may or may not have our best interest at heart. Enter the guide, the mentor, the coach, the role model, whose job it is to help us navigate these unfamiliar waters. Also enter the jokester, the thief, the hapless companion who tests our patience and distracts us from what is real, what is wise, what is best, or what is true. One of the most well-known Shiro's journeys in the American lexicon is The Wizard of Oz. In this story, our Shiro, Dorothy Gale, is whisked away to a far-off land by a tornado and embarks on a journey to find her way back home to Kansas, where she hopes her Aunt Emily and Uncle Henry will be waiting for her. Along the way, she meets several characters: a good witch, full of joy and grace; a bad witch, full of anger and misery; a scarecrow without a brain, but full of really good ideas; a cowardly lion full of bluster and false bravado; a tin man who, despite having no heart, is perhaps the most tender and loving of the group; and a wizard who, despite the pretense of being all-powerful Oz and having it all together, really has no clue. In her quest to return home, each of these characters serves as a guidepost for Dorothy, helping her learn when and what and how to trust. And each of them is a metaphor for a psycho-spiritual aspect of our very human condition. After all, who among us hasn't wanted to be more joyful, more gracious, more confident and courageous, more loving? Who doesn't wish from time to time, or all the time, to be more trusting of ourselves and just plain more okay with who we are and what our lives are about? Now, for those Wizard of Oz scholars who may be wondering, I am aware that the original story, written in 1849, is said to have been written as a socio-political allegory. And I encourage anyone who may be interested in that to look it up. It is fascinating. But for our purposes this morning, I'm going to ask that we suspend that possibility. For now, I invite us all to just go a little bit deeper into our own personal hero and Shiro's journeys. What do you remember about your journeys? Once you took a leap into the unknown, who was there to meet you? Was there a mentor that helped you navigate your way? Was there a witch that tried to put you off your path? A wizard that promised you answers but had none? Who were your journey mates? A doubter, a bamboozler, a protector, a sage? Who traveled with you on your hero's journey, and what did you learn from them? And even more importantly, what did you learn about yourself? The long version of the hero's journey has many more stages that I won't go into. The title of those I will mention have been adapted from Campbell's original text. The inmost cave is where we reckon with failure, change our way of thinking, and come up with innovative strategies for overcoming adversity. I liken this to the dark night of the soul, so often referenced in self-help books and elsewhere. That time of spiritual death and rebirth, where we are stripped of our false narratives and we suddenly see life for what it is. Faced with our own vulnerability, we discover the frailty of an imperfect world and invent ourselves anew. We emerge from the cave wiser, more courageous, less frivolous, and more trusting of ourselves and more open to divine guidance. I don't know about you, that doesn't sound too bad. It might even be worth the journey. Finally, the hero prepares to return home as if from the dead, but not without one final challenge: the ordeal. At this stage in the hero's journey, the hero faces a final challenge where he or she is called on to prove that they have really learned their lesson in a final face-off with evil. Here we come face to face with our greatest fear and marshal all of our skills for a life and death battle from which we are just able to escape with our lives, which obviously we do, because here we are. But not without some sacrifice, and not without the benefit of significant reward, and by which we are permanently changed. For some of this can be a career or a relationship that we thought was dead, but we either rebuilt from the ashes or we struggled to hold on to and mourned when it ended. For some, it is an illness, our own or that of a loved one, that changed everything for us. Or the loss of something or someone so dear that we thought we would never recover, and yet we did. We survived and lived to tell the story. The hero's journey ends when we return home resurrected and transformed. Having triumphed over adversity, we share what we learned and light the way forward. At this point, we become the mentors, guiding the next generation of journeyers. Ultimately, we discover that we are enough, that we had the answers within us all the time, and that love really does conquer evil. We return home awakened to our true nature, empowered by our purpose, and in love with the possibility of living a transformed life. And who among us doesn't want that? And although Dr. Campbell created the arc of the hero's journey as an individual story of transformation, I'd like you to consider that in some ways, our fellow journey mates, we find ourselves and our fellow journey mates in a collective hero's journey, complete with witches and wizards and scarecrows and tin men and cowardly lions and even flying monkeys. All of us navigating some degree of danger. All of us wondering who we can trust. All of us searching for our individual and collective truths. And all of us longing for the comfort and safety of home. One of the hallmarks of the hero's journey is that it exemplifies what it means to live from the heart. Truly, there is no other way to navigate uncertainty. The heart, our symbolic but very real North Star, is our guide to what is true, what is real, what is important, and what is good and right for us at the given time. And who among us doesn't want to feel that kind of assurance? Who among us doesn't yearn to be guided by love? I know I'm asking you a lot of questions today. Especially the all-elusive self-love that is so important for transformation and growth. The self-love that is often the motivation for so many of the heroes' journeys that we know and adore. It's us an opportunity to create new relationships, learn new skills, and tap into our divine purpose. Ultimately, the hero learns what they left to discover was with them all along. Strength, kindness, motivation, commitment, value, worthiness, transcendence, and love. As I close this morning, I urge us to continue our inquiry into our respective heroes' journeys and to notice where it has brought us. Home to family, home to community, home to purpose, and home to ourselves. Before I leave you, I'd like to invite us to close this chapter of our hero's journey in the same way that Dorothy did. If you are willing, You don't have to click your heels, but I do invite you to put your hand on your heart and repeat after me. There's no place like home. 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 May all your journeys be fruitful, and may your hearts guide your way. Amen.
Each week, we make an offering from the bounty we are blessed to enjoy. We do this in the spirit of love and generosity, aware that we have benefited from those who have gone before, those that, in their turn, gave generously. Our offering goes to support the work of love and justice undertaken by this community. Today's offering will be shared with Water is Life. Water is Life's goal is to ensure 1 billion more people have safe drinking water. For more information, please visit the website, waterislife.com. You can make your donation in several ways. If present in the sanctuary, you may give cash or a check in the offering plate as it comes by. From your homes, you can make your donation via credit card or PayPal using the links provided in the e-newsletter or by visiting our website, uuchucsvalley.org. Or if you prefer, you can always mail us a check. The offering will now be given and gratefully received. The words are in your order of service. May these gifts and the work of our hands and hearts give power to all we stand for as a community of faith. Now please join me in singing When Our Heart is in a Holy Place, 1008 in your teal hymnal.
With
Please join me in reading the chalice extinguishing. The words are in your order of service. We extinguish the chalice, but not the light of understanding. May it light our path as we leave this place. May it guide our way until we are together again. May it lead us home to our true and most authentic self.
Please join me in thanking our worship team this morning. Thank you so much to our ushers, Tina. Thank you so much to our beautiful director of music, Blake. Thank you so much. As we journey forth this morning, let us give thanks for all that we've learned and experienced here this morning. May we lift up each other for the heroes that we are. May we live each day from the heart, and may none of us journey alone. May we all be safe, may we be well, may we be free, and may we be loved. Amen.